Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not the type of brother to play with. See a lot of people acting like, oh yeah. All ball players sounding like haters. We the young kings of this generation, oh yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pitchside with Parker. We got a new type of show today. I'm excited to welcome special guest. He's a big baller, best friend for many, many years. Played for a long time together back in town. A huge Barca fan as well.
Yes, sir.
Some know him as Vickers. Some know him as Vick. To me, he is Daniel. Welcome to the channel, my friend.
Thank you, bro.
Of course. So we're going to do a little Champions League kind of recap show today. So we just got done watching the Barca-Napoli game. Obviously, a few games yesterday as well. So we're just going to kind of hit the highlights, tell y'all what we're thinking. Oh, and also, let me give a quick shout out. Jordan Grant, shout out to you for winning the for winning the giveaway. Hopefully you put that $50 into Manchester United's transfer budget, because they need a little help getting Sancho right now. That's what it looks like. I know JG's a United fan, so I had to give him a little shout out on that. And thank you to the people who supported and participated in that. And we just jump into it. So you got to be feeling pretty good as a Barca fan, because Barcelona just knocked out Napoli after looking a little shaky in the first leg, even though that was a long time ago. And Real Madrid lost yesterday, got knocked out by Manchester City. Yeah. Ronaldo got knocked out yesterday. I know you're not like super into the whole Ronaldo-Messi beef, but you got to be feeling pretty good as a Barca fan.
Yeah. After recent years, I can't really get too confident, because I know what can happen with this Barca team. Like, even though like we have a different manager, like it's still the same players, and the manager wasn't out there when we collapsed. Like, it was the players. They need to take responsibility for it. So as a Barca fan, like, yeah, I'm happy seeing like the big teams go out, but like the other day I saw like Juan kind of like comment under and like laughing because Real Madrid and Juve lost. Now I like commented under like, wait, we still have to play, bro. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we're not like that amazing right now. Like, we just have the best player probably ever, and that's basically a bunch of passengers who just passing the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, I think it makes Barca a little one-dimensional sometimes. Yeah. But I mean, we were even saying this earlier. Now that we're past this round of 16, they're gonna go to Lisbon. It's gonna be 8 teams left, knockout style.
Yeah.
One game. So like, having the best player on your team, it's a little bit like March Madness, you know, like it can take you a long way. And honestly, that's how Barca played today. Like, it was kind of Messi's magic that got them the win today as well. A couple of nice goals. Yeah.
It's just the only thing is if he doesn't have a good game, we're screwed. That's the only thing. But I mean, when does he have a bad game? That really does help us. But yeah, I'm still kind of like PTSD.
Yeah, look, I can understand, man. I'm a Arsenal fan. We've had some failures in Europe as well. Yeah. Of course, to you guys as well. Yeah. So, I mean, look, I can't really say much on that front, but I mean, I can see why you're a little nervous. You got Bayern coming up next. Bayern was the other game today. I imagine, like us, nobody really had any interest in watching that game, unless maybe you're a Bayern or a Chelsea fan. Mm-hmm. I feel like even if I was a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't want to watch that game. Honestly. They've shredded some people. Did the same thing to Chelsea today. So 7-1 aggregate. I mean, again, as an Arsenal fan, like, been there, bro. 10-2.
I think, ever since that Tottenham tie, like, they just put their foot down on the Champions League. Like, they're really, like, making statements here and there. Like, everyone, like, I don't think any other team in the Champions League right now is that, like, imposing.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and they play that way at the end of Bundesliga as well, because it almost feels like a long time ago that the Bundesliga was back, because they were the first league to come back, and they've been finished for a while now. Especially the way that Dortmund kind of, fell off a little bit in that league. Once Bayern beat them in that game, that was pretty much the end of that. And then Bayern also won the German Cup as well a couple weekends back over Leverkusen. So, like, some people may not have known that, but they're up for the treble. Like, this is actually one of their best teams they've had in a long time.
Yeah, like, I remember thinking at the beginning of the season, like, I was looking at the Champions League, and I was like, Bayern, like, Juventus will probably be up there. Like, I thought Barca would be doing a little bit better. Like, I mean, we're still there, but like, I was like PSG, but I didn't really think of Bayern, to be honest. Like, and then that Tottenham game like really just woke everybody up. They're like, okay, yeah, they're for real this season. And then they signed Sane. Luckily, he can't play in the next round, but yeah, like next season they're gonna be insane.
But yeah, so Bayern, Barca, that's a matchup. And then in that same half of the bracket, the next round matchup will be Manchester City versus Lyon. Mm-hmm. As we mentioned, Ronaldo getting knocked out with Juventus yesterday.
Yeah.
That was a weird game. Like,
really
penalties
weird.
going both ways, some bad refereeing. But in the end, Lyon came away with the win. And Juventus falling short again, man. Like, that's then the hurdle that they can't seem to climb is the Champions League. And I mean, they were talking about it a little bit after the game, but like Juventus built themselves to try to compete in the Champions League. Mm-hmm. That's a big reason they got Ronaldo. And Ronaldo did his thing. Yeah. I mean, he did what he could. That goal was crazy.
That second goal was insane. But it's just like, where do Juve go from here? Like, they sacked Sarri. Now Pirlo is like manager now.
Yeah, so. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't really
He's
know
never coached a game before. Like,
yeah, like that just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I don't even know what Pirlo was doing. Like, last time I saw him, he was in the MLS.
So he literally signed as the U23 coach 10 days ago. And he was going to take over their youth team. And then they were just like, well, now this job is actually open, so...
Is he, like, permanent, or is it just, like...
Yeah, they announced it today. Pirlo's in there. He's the manager, for sure.
Interesting.
So, I guess that's a project for Juventus, maybe. I mean... I was thinking at first I was thinking it seemed similar to some of these other clubs. Like, a lot of big clubs are hiring, like, club legends to just become, and it's weird for us, like people we saw as players, you know, and even true in the Barca game today with Gattuso coaching Napoli, but like Zidane, Mikel Arteta at Arsenal, Frank Lampard, but even all of them were a little bit different because they had at least had coaching jobs before. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe not a lot, you know. Yeah. Arteta was an assistant, but he worked under Pep, and Lampard coached at Derby County. Mm-hmm. But literally, Pirlo's never coached a game in his life.
Yeah, like he's kind of joining the last generation of players who are just becoming managers now. Like, the next one up is like Xavi. I know he's gonna coach Barca in the future, but no one really expected Pirlo to like just come out of nowhere. Like
that really did come out of nowhere, and they decided it really quick because they sacked Sarri this morning. Yeah, and then Pirlo was coached by the afternoon.
Yeah, think of him as a player. Like, he was kind of quiet, wasn't he? Like, I never really saw him like shouting or like demanding players or anything. Like, he kind of led by example. Like, for me, that kind of reminds me of like seeing like maybe like Messi be a manager or something. Like, he's not really like that kind of like huge personality. Yeah. But I mean, it could be interesting. Like, I mean, he's definitely a smart player. So like, maybe he can, I don't know, deal his knowledge to the players or something.
Everybody knows who they were as a player, so it's like you walk in there and you're like, oh, this is Pirlo. Mm-hmm. But I think it's going to be similar to how Arsenal's right now with Arteta, where it's like some of the guys at Juventus were probably playing with Pirlo a couple years ago. Like some of Chiellini and
Bonucci.
Those guys that are still there, like they all know him and have played with him before. So yeah, I don't know. I personally, I don't know about that hire. Like, I understand why they sacked Sarri because, as we said, like, Champions League was the goal. He didn't get them, and to lose to Lyon, especially, like, if they had lost to Bayern or City or something, like, okay. Yeah. But to lose to Lyon, I think they were pretty upset with that. I mean, do you think Lyon have any chance against Manchester City?
City, they look very strong right now. So that game, like, I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. Like, because City have lost to small teams this season, like Norwich.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, City have looked a lot more fallible than they have in the past, but it seemed like they were ready to crank it up a notch against Real Madrid yesterday. So, I mean, that game, City kind of just blitzed them, really. Like, it was just goals coming off the press. Like, Real Madrid not playing out of the back very well. You could tell they missed Sergio Ramos a lot. He was suspended in that game. Yeah, and Varane had a terrible game.
I kind of feel bad for Varane on that Sterling goal, the first goal, because Courtois really just set him up for
pass.
failure.
Yeah.
Like, and then they put the cameras on Varane, and I think I forgot who said it. I think it was Jamie Carragher. He was like, they put the cameras on Varane, but they could have easily put it on Courtois.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, do you think that was more of a case of just like Real Madrid giving it away, or do you think that was a good sign for City that, you know?
A little bit of both. I mean, like Real Madrid looked horrible, like, in the back. Every time Courtois got the ball, I was like, yeah, there's a mistake coming. But I mean, you can't really fault City for that because like they forced a lot of those mistakes. So it's a little bit of both, but I'm edging towards more City. Like, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus' press was really good. It was interesting how they lined up too, because they put Jesus on the left and Foden was playing center forward basically.
Yeah,
and it was Jesus pressing that got both of their goals. So
and his goal was very nice.
Yeah, the finish. Don't take anything away from the finish.
Goal.
That's true. Well, but yeah, City ran past them. They'll play Lyon in the next match, and then on the other side of the bracket, we got the two games that we've been waiting on basically for Leipzig and PSG. They haven't played in a while now, so.
Yeah, I've been watching PSG games a little bit because I'm a huge Neymar fan here. So yeah, it's kind of weird wearing this and being a huge Neymar fan. It still hurts, but it's favorite player right there. So yeah, I've been watching them. They've been playing like a couple like cup games. I know they had the French Cup,
two
like
cup finals,
the French like League Cup or something.
Yeah,
like that. And then they had a couple friendlies. Like they played Celtic and I think two other random teams, but. Watching them, they looked a lot like really rusty. Like I remember watching them against, I think it was Lyon. Well, actually both finals. Like the other teams were like kind of catching them off guard because they looked a lot more sharper. But I remember thinking like the commentators were saying they were like, we don't know if PSG are just holding back for the Champions League or they just that rusty. So like I really don't know what to expect from PSG.
It's hard to know, and I think Mbappe will at least miss.
The Atlanta game.
Yeah. So that's gonna obviously be a huge blow to them.
Yeah.
But do you think they can make it past Atalanta even without him?
I think they can, to be honest. I don't really watch Serie A that much, but I did see one of Atalanta's games, and they weren't that impressive. But like, it's so hard to like judge teams like during this little coronavirus kind of like stop and start season. So I honestly don't know what to expect from like a lot of these games.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but Atalanta actually like they played pretty good. I think when they first came back in the restart, they won like 8 games in a row in Serie A, and they beat a lot of the like top teams in Serie A as well. Like I know they beat Juventus this season and Napoli, maybe even like Lazio. They've played all the top teams, so they've been in that level of competition. But yeah, I mean PSG are definitely. I don't know. That's a different test for them. But without Mbappe, the playing field is pretty even. Like that one feels like a toss-up to me. But I don't know exactly what to expect. And then the last game was Leipzig taking on Atletico.
Yeah.
We were saying before, like it feels like the least interesting out of the matchups,
Very much
just
so.
because of the way that the two teams play. And Leipzig will be without pretty much their most exciting player in terms of Timo Werner. So I don't know. Some people put money on Atletico just because it's like a knockout tournament, and that's how they can really step up. Just literally trying to win every game 1-0, or hoping for penalties even.
I think Atletico will. I mean, they are the favorite in that game just because they're Atletico Madrid. Like they have Simeone. Like even though they've been a huge disappointment this season, they're still like that tough team, like hard to beat. They're always hard to beat. So. I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards Atletico, but at the same time, like they've been really up and down this season. Like they almost didn't make like the top 4 in La Liga, but they had to make. They had a huge run after the restart though. So I mean, maybe they have a little bit momentum, but I don't know too much about Leipzig to be honest. But I just know that Werner is out. Timo Werner is already at Chelsea, so. I wonder where their heads are at, like.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, I wonder where both their heads are at though too, because I was thinking about Atletico and like they had that huge win over Liverpool. Like that was the peak of their season. Like it's hard to respond from that, and I think that effect would have taken hold on them more if the game was like closer to when they had beaten Liverpool. Because it's obviously been a long time since that happened, but like. Where do you go after that? You know, it's like the 16 seed beating the 1 seed, and then like all of a sudden, I mean, maybe that's a little disrespectful to Atletico Madrid. They're not a 16 seed, but like it was like a big upset.
7 seed or something like that.
Yeah, but like a big upset, and then all of a sudden the next game you got to play another really good team. It's like, oh, can we do it again?
Yeah, it was a bit unfair to Atletico because like they got that big win, and then the next Champions League game is like now like
months on months away.
Yeah, like so all that momentum definitely died out. So,
yeah,
it was. I bet they're a bit upset about that.
All right, so Daniel, tell me who do you think should be the favorites at this point?
Definitely Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
without a question. Like Bayern Munich, like I said, like they've definitely put their foot down in the Champions League. Like they have For me, yeah, they look the most dominant out of everyone.
I'd have to agree with that, man. Like, they look scary, and like I think City could be a shout. Like, but the crazy thing is that those two will have to meet before the final if they both win. So that semifinal would be crazy, and then the other side of the bracket isn't looking quite as strong. You know, like I would have really liked PSG heading into the tournament, but without them having Mbappe, that is just a huge blow for them.
Yeah.
He could potentially come back for a semifinal, though. I mean, it depends on that injury, but I mean, I've had a lot of ankle injuries. Like, those things are tough to come back from, and he's had some before as well. So, like, you know, as Neymar would know, even like his teammate, like getting through those is really tough. But I mean, if they get him back, that could potentially help. But I think that stifled a lot of their momentum that they could have had as well. So Bayern look pretty unbeatable right now.
Yeah,
I'd have to say.
Definitely. Yeah, for me, it's like Bayern and City. Then after that, it's kind of like, I mean, I guess you can say Barcelona, but I mean, it just depends on like what
Tough
Barcelona like comes through, or like they have to beat Bayern, so
and then might have to beat City, and that's before even the final.
Yeah.
So yeah, not where you want to be if you're Barcelona, but
No.
I mean, yeah, lot more to see. There's the cool thing now is that there's gonna be games pretty much every day, like between Europa League and Champions League. There's even some tasty Europa League ties next week. Like we're looking at Inter versus Leverkusen. Y'all know I like Leverkusen if you've been watching the videos since day one. Like I really rate them, and they'll be looking to bounce back from that cup final loss to Bayern. And then, but Inter have looked great as well. And then the next day, Wolves and Sevilla play, which actually should be a pretty good game, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So, and Man United got a good draw, so like they should theoretically be into the next round pretty easily. So it could be set up for some intrigue there as well on the other side of the European football.
I haven't really kept up with the Europa League as much, but I will definitely be checking out that Leverkusen Inter game because Kai Havertz is dirty and Lautaro Martinez for Inter is dirty. So I feel like people should keep an eye out for those two young players right there.
Yeah, good shout, definitely.
Yeah.
Lautaro to Barca? What you saying?
Hopefully, yeah. We were talking about it earlier. Suarez is a little bit rough, man.
He's dusted, bro.
I don't know why. I think, honestly, like, the reason why he's still playing for us is because he's best friends with Messi, like, and, like, his player power, too. Like, I feel like if you try to pinch that man, like, he'll throw a hissy fit.
Yeah.
And we don't have a big enough manager to deal with that. I feel like if Pep or someone like that was still at Barca, he wouldn't, like, tolerate that because you saw what he did with Aguero.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, look, might be another conversation for another day because I know you got a lot of thoughts on Barcelona. But hey, but check this out. If y'all like this video, right? Like me and Dan are gonna make more videos. We'll keep this going for the Champions League for sure. So if you like that, maybe if you want to see a video about Barcelona, we could definitely make that happen as well. So smash the thumbs up. Leave a comment if that's something that you want to see on this video or on this channel. And yeah, man, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for more. Got plenty of stuff coming up soon. So until the next one, peace.